Oh, good morning, boys and ghouls. Welcome back to Gear 915. Headcase here with, oh my God, the PTM-10 professional in-ear monitor from Phenyx Pro. I'm excited about this one. So you're going to get a rare treat. This is going to be a long one because I'm actually going to go through all the ins and outs. You'll actually see an unboxing on this one because I'm excited for this. So there's going to be an unboxing on this one. We're going to go through all the little bells and whistles this little thing has to offer. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, right off the bat, it comes in a carrying case, which that is fantastic. Thank you, Phenyx Pro, for including the carrying case. So for those of you that don't want to mount this puppy, you can actually keep it safe in a carrying case. It's pretty durable plastic. It's pretty thick ABS. So that's wonderful. Let's open this puppy up. It's got the protective foam. Owner's manual as usual. Everything that you need. So it's got cables and a little bit of additional things. I'm going to go over what's in that little pack right there. But it's got the rack mount kit, antenna, as well as a pair of earbuds. The power supply, of course. The handy dandy rack ears and the antenna. If you want to go ahead and rack mount that. The antenna you're going to need no matter what, but if you want to rack mount this, it does come with its own rack mount kit, which is awesome because a lot of high-end versions don't even include the rack mount kit. You have to buy it separately. This one automatically comes with the rack mount kit, and what's great is the rack mount kit comes with the pre-drilled antenna holes on both sides, the little ear and the long ear. That's awesome. So that is pretty cool. Here is your receiver. That's your belt pack that goes on your hip, your back, wherever you want to put it. Metal clip, battery compartment. We're going to go over the actual receiver individually itself and all its controls and what it does. I like that it's a foam cutout, so it holds everything. Batteries. They included batteries for you. That's great. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, this is your transmitter. The PTM-10 for Phenyx Pro, the transmitter itself also is a aluminum housing. This one in particular operates in the 900 megahertz realm. They do have a 500 version as well, but this one is in the 900 realm. And what I like about that is it stays out of the path of most wireless microphones and most other wireless guitar gear. So this one is pretty awesome. Being in the 900 realm is pretty rare and very awesome. Now, let's go on to the transmitter itself. Here we have the front of the unit. We have the 1/4-inch headphone input and its independent volume control. This particular controls the volume of the output going to your headphones. So you're going to learn, and we'll show you that. These are the up and down controls and the set buttons. We'll go over that later. And the power. There's also a little infrared port right there. We'll go over all of that when we get to the syncing of the unit. This does sync to the unit itself and the displays. We'll go over that a little bit later. Here's the back of the unit. We're going to start with the power. This allows you to at least trap it so that it doesn't get loose. You have 1/4-inch and XLR combo jacks. That's great. Some major units don't even come with that. And you have a pad. So that allows you to get a negative 12 dB reduction in volume control and a B&C antenna connection. Go over what was in that little pack. So what also comes with the unit is obviously the 900 megahertz antenna, which you can attach directly to the back of the unit if you don't plan on rack mounting it. It just clips into place. There you go, nice and sturdy. Or if you do plan to rack mount the unit with the occasional rack ears, what it does come with, again, like I said, those rack ears, you can, again, mount them to the sides of the unit. And then this is the antenna extension. So you would just connect that end to the back of the unit, and then this is the antenna bulkhead that you would screw in to the long end of the unit. You would screw that on the front, and then you would connect your antenna. This will allow you to bring the antenna from the back of the unit to the front to where it's more visible, and that will allow you to get the signal in a rack mount in the front. So it's really awesome that they included the extension cable and the rack mount ears. That is awesome. So that is additionally available for you. Obviously the power supply. It does come with the additional screws to rack mount the unit. The quarter-inch to eighth-inch adapter for headphones, if you wish to use that. If you only have the eighth-inch, you can it does come with that. That's great. Now, these are the bulkhead caps. So on the other side, if you aren't using them, you can cap off the holes with the bulkhead caps. So for example, if you use the long one, the short one also has the bulkhead opening, so you can cap off that end so there's no hole in your short arm. So it does come with 3 caps, which is awesome. And then it does include a pair of in-ears, so you don't have to buy additional in-ears. It does come with a pair of in-ear monitors. Personal opinion, they aren't the greatest. They are a starter set, but you can personally buy, there are a number of them out there. And then it does also include rubber feet. If you're not planning to rack mount it, you can place the rubber feet on the unit so that it doesn't slide around on your table, desk, or whatever. But if you are going to rack mount it, please, if you're going to rack mount it, do not add the feet. That will prevent it from sitting flush in the rack unit. Now, let's talk about the setup and the receiver, shall we? All right, so for the purpose of this, we don't have the antenna connected because we're not running any audio, but the power is connected. Let's go ahead and go over the front of the unit. So, go ahead and push and hold the power button to turn it on. The large knob controls the main volume coming into the unit. That's the volume coming into the unit. You can see the display. This is the frequency it's on. Next to that, it's going to tell you whether it's in mono or stereo. Push the set button once to go into scanning. Push it a second time to enter the control mode. First option will tell you what group you're in. The channel. Oops. So you have group, channel. You can go up or down in the group. Push the set button again to get to the channel. And then from there you can go into whether it's going to be mono or stereo. Then you can lock the unit. And then when you get out of it, it will go into the sync mode. So again, you can go through the groups. There are 11 total groups. And then each group individually, as you'll see, has groups of 6. So 11 total groups, 6 channels per group. And then the next thing you can choose between mono and stereo. And we'll go over that in a minute. And then you can lock the unit if you don't want it changed. And then hit it one more time, 2 more times, and you'll exit. And then it goes into the sync. That's a pretty handy dandy feature. So now, for example, you want to change the group, go up to group 2, change it to channel 4. I want it mono or stereo. I'm going to keep it in stereo for now. And you'll see that the channel is changed, the group is changed, so I'm on a different frequency. Change it to a different one. I want it on group 2, channel 1. Hit exit. It'll sync again. So now I'm on a different frequency. Now let's look at the receiver. So with the receiver, you have the power button, push and hold to turn it on, the volume switch, the antenna, of course, and your headphone input. Power that's the infrared sync, the set button, and the add button. Those serve two different functions, and we'll show you what that means in a minute. And of course, the battery compartment. So, metal clip on the back, and it also even tells you what frequency the pack is. Like I said, there are two different frequencies for the unit. If the screen goes dim, just push the power button to bring it back to life. You'll notice that my pack and my transmitter do not match. We're going to sync them currently. All right? So we're going to show you this. So all you have to do is push the set button, and the infrared scanner is right there. So push and then place the pack right in front of the infrared dot. Let it go through the scan. And then there you go. Your pack and your unit are now set to the same frequency. I don't know if you noticed previously when I was holding it up and it was on the alternate frequency, you'll notice that it said mute on it, and now that it's on the same signal, it is no longer muted. The add button and set button independently allows you to change the balance to the left or to the right. This is a handy dandy feature when you're working in stereo or in mono. So if you are in stereo, you can actually shift your pack balance to the left or to the right if you want a little bit more of the right mix than the left. If you are in a mono mix, you can shift the balance more to on either side if you need a stronger volume. If you push and hold the set button, it'll get you into the settings menus. There's an EQ. Balance will let you set it to on or off. There is then the limiter, the EQ on or off. Then there's the limiter on or off. The FO is whether you want it in mono or stereo. That's called focus. So you can turn that on or off. And then, of course, you can also lock your pack. So the pack itself also has an independent lock feature aside from the transmitter. And then push and hold the power to turn it off. The volume control itself is independent from the power button, so it doesn't turn all the way down and click. You can actually set your volume and leave it where it's at. If you're comfortable, once you have your volume set, you can leave it, set it, and forget it. And the power button just controls it. And that's the units together. So that's the kind of beauty. Push and hold the power, turn them off, and you're good to go. Now, here's another trick. If you need to find a frequency, you can actually just turn your pack on and leave the unit off. And if you see signal coming to your pack, it'll tell you whether or not that frequency is occupied with other items in the air. So that will tell you if it's a busy signal if you don't have an RF scanner. So turning your pack on without the unit helps, and then you can go in and shift for another channel or another group. So that's another handy dandy feature for that. Let's move on to final thoughts. So what do we think of the Phenyx Pro PTM-10 in-ear wireless unit? This, for the price point, is fantastic. This, to me personally, I have tried it both in my rehearsal space. I have tried it live. I have done a distance test. This, for me personally, as a budget band gigging, for me is the perfect addition to my performance, because I'm now able to add in-ears to my band at an inexpensive price point versus trying to get one of the higher end, even just the higher end starters. This one alone allows you to get your hands on a stereo version of an option that is available out there in the 900 realm that gets you out of the way of other wireless gear, which is fantastic. And this will, for the price point, get you and in the ballpark. Now, here are some caveats to that. Pros. If you're used to a mono mix, this is a stereo unit that can operate in mono. So, cool little trick is that you can run 2 mono mixes off of 1 unit. This particular unit that I purchased came with 1 pack. However, you can buy one of these that comes with 2 packs on Amazon, or you can go directly to the Phenyx Pro website and just buy the additional pack by itself. So if you already have one of these units with the 1 pack, you can just go on and buy the additional pack. Just make sure that you buy the pack in the appropriate frequency. Now, all you have to do is run your stereo mix in the left and right, set your focus to mono, and then you're free to go. Now, you can actually do this. Make sure that you're leaving the transmitter in stereo, run a left and a right into it, and then place each individual pack into the focus on position, which is the mono, and that will turn that into a mono signal for them, for the actual receivers. And then you can move that focus to the left or to the right, depending on which signal it is that they're receiving. For those that can share a mix, you can actually send a stereo mix to 2 particular members if they're willing to share. And then they can literally leave their packs in stereo, receive a stereo mix, and they can use that panning feature that I was showing you, and they can pan it a little more to the left or a little more to the right, and they can share a mix. So there are 2 pros right there for how this unit can function. That in itself is amazing. For this price point, being able to do that already helps it compete with some of the bigger boys. There are units out there at this same price point that can't even do any of that. Scanning and infrared syncing. 2 other pros already that can beat out a lot of other in-ear units at this price point. There are way too many pros for you to not be interested in this unit. These should be flying out of the warehouse. This is an amazing, amazing product. Phenyx Pro has knocked it out of the park. Now, would I like to see it be able to scan for an open frequency? Yes, everyone wants it. Everyone wants RF scanning. That's the one thing that I noticed when I looked into the group chats and everything when I did my research on this unit. That's the one thing everyone wishes it can do. RF scanning, find me a clear channel. But like I said, there is a trick that you can find a channel. You can see if the channel that you're on is occupied by just turning the pack on without the unit and seeing if it's occupied, then just change the channel. And I mean, it's a little bit time consuming, but it is, if you don't have an RF scanner independently, you can try it that way. It does help. Other than that, I didn't have any problems. There is a downside to this. There is another piece that does not make it perfect. Because it is a lower model, there is going to be a little hum coming through to your receiver. So that's what I did notice. There is a low floor hum coming through. So don't think that your unit is, oh, mine is broken, there's something wrong with it. No. There is a hum that comes through. It is what it is. it's just ground noise. Or I even put a hum eliminator between my power supply and the power conditioner, and it was still there. It is just, it exists. There is a hum that comes through. It's very low. It's almost inaudible when the audio is coming through, but when it's quiet, you will hear a hum coming through to your in-ears. That is another downside, that the in-ears are not the greatest. You can get some aftermarket ones. There are several people out there that can recommend you some great ones, from $25 to $50 to even $100. I myself can tell you that I have a pair of $25 ones that work amazing, a pair of $50 ones that work amazing, and even a pair of $100 big boy ones that are their starting tried and true beginner models, and they work amazing. All three of those are fantastic. Anyone who has ever reviewed this unit would recommend any of those three, and you would be great and good to go if you don't like these. These are great for beginners, but if you can't afford the additional in-ears after purchasing this unit, these will get you through. They are good. They're good enough. So other than that, we've done our job. Great job. Until next time, have a good one.